What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. I do hope you're doing well. Before we get into the video, if you could just make sure that you are subscribed, your notifications are turned on, that you are liking, hyping, all of that good stuff, that would be greatly appreciated. If you're listening to the audio version of this, just make sure that you are following us on Apple or on Spotify, and also as well, just like the audio for us. That would really, really help. So, we're going to have a conversation. I look rough as a badger's arsehole, but we're going to have a little conversation about yours and mine favourite midfielder that we've been in and out with for absolutely ages, and that is the one and only Shea Charles. So, we've kind of reached, well, Leeds had reached an impasse. They put an offer on the table, and that was the final offer that they were going to put in. And it's a take it or leave it offer, basically, was what they put in, and they were prepared to walk away from the deal. They had a limit that they were going to go to, and they weren't going to go any higher than what they were originally looking at. Now, we originally knew that Fulham were potentially interested, or Crystal Palace were potentially interested. Now, it would appear, according to Florian Plettenberg last night, that Fulham are now in advanced negotiations with Southampton over Shea Charles. The clubs are working to resolve the final details before reaching a full agreement. Talks are centred around a transfer fee of around 30 million euros. Personal terms with the 22-year-old defensive midfielder are almost agreed. Now, there's a couple of things with this, because I put a tweet out after it saying, you know, if they're prepared to pay the £30 million, then that's fine. But, you know, for us, that's not what we were going to do. We had a limit that we were going to go to, and we were going to stick to it. And I got cooked in the comments on X because clearly it says 30 million euros, not 30 million pounds. And 30 million euros is about 27.5 million pounds, I think, overall. So I don't know where that leaves us in terms of what we'd put on the table or what offer we'd actually put in. But it would appear that Fulham are essentially now leading the race for Shea Charles, and Shea Charles is looking like he's going to become a Fulham player. So, I mean, fair play. If they're, like I said, if they're willing to pay the money for him and willing to pay what Southampton are asking for, then that's absolutely fine. It's a figure that we weren't going to go to. I'm still really pleased with the way that we've set ourselves with this. I think it wasn't a position that we needed to fill, or that we were desperate to fill. However, with that being said, you know, would I have liked to have seen him at Leeds? Yeah, of course I would. But there's nothing concrete to say that it's completely off the table. So you've got a couple of people on that are talking about it. So there's a fee in the region of 25 million being discussed for the 22-year-old, which seems really strange because I'm pretty sure that that's a fee that we've put in. So it might be that he wants to go to Fulham. Who knows? It could just be as simple as that. You've got Southampton Extra that are reporting it as well. They're saying Southampton had been holding out for 30 million for Shea Charles this summer, but the player wants to go for the chance to play Premier League, and talks with Fulham are now advancing. So there's nothing specifically concrete. TalkSport are reporting on it as well, saying that they're closing in. It says here, Saints Extra again, Fulham are closing in on a deal with Southampton for Shea Charles worth just shy of 30 million. I wouldn't say that that's quite true. I'd say it's closer to either 25 or 27 million, but it seems that Southampton have maybe lowered their pricing just a little bit on it. Look, would I have liked him as a player at Leeds? Yes, of course I would. His ceiling is very, very high. There's brilliant sell-on value with him if, you know, you get him to a certain level. Is he what we need right now? Probably not, in all honesty. But, look, it is what it is. We set a limit to where we were going to go with it, and we aren't prepared to go any higher than that. And sometimes you have to be strong like that in negotiations, and it's not what you would term as a stretch target that we were looking for. It's not what you would term as a target that we were desperate to get in. And look, nothing's confirmed yet. Nothing is decided either way on the player yet, from what I can see. It's just that Fulham are in negotiations, so we just have to wait and see what happens with it, I guess. But yeah, it came out last night. I was going to hop on and do a video about it last night, but like I said, I was busy getting cooked in the comments. So yes, I'm very well aware of the fact that I misread it in terms of euros and pounds. So there's some people going that it's tragic if we can't get to 27.5 million. But again, if we've set a limit of what we're prepared to pay for a player, then that's fine. Why should we get bullied into negotiations for a player that we do want, but not a player that we're desperate to get? It's not, you know, what's the best way of explaining it? Like the Trafford deal. I can understand spending the money on Trafford because he's an exceptional keeper and his ceiling is massive and his resale value is absolutely huge. He's not a stretch target, but he's one of those elite level targets that you would not mind spending a little bit more on. Whereas with Shea Charles, there's a limit that you would go to, and people might call it copium or whatever, which is absolutely fine. You can call it that, but from my own personal opinion on it is, you set your limit and you stick to that. And then if they come back in the fullness of time and go, okay, fine, well you can have him at that, great. Then we've done good negotiations. If not, then fine, just walk away. It's not. He isn't going to make or break our season next season, in my humble opinion, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, while it's slightly disappointing, and yeah, we had, it'll get the negative ninnies out in force saying that we don't know how to do deals and this, that, and the other, and all of that kind of good stuff. Like I said, sometimes you've just got to set a limit that you're prepared to go to, and if it goes above the limit that you're prepared to go to, then you walk away. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Unless it's a market opportunity, stretch target style, whatever, a moonshot style player that you could potentially go and get, then you walk away from it. You've got, sometimes, particularly when it comes from a business point of view, you have to set your limits. You just have to set your limits. It's just one of those things. And it is what it is. But again, there's nothing confirmed anywhere. There's nothing said that it's going to happen or not going to happen, but it looks like Fulham are now leading the race with it. So we'll just have to watch and wait and see what happens with it all. It's going to do it for this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Give me your comments, give me your feelings. Make sure you subscribe, your notifications are turned on, all of that good stuff. And yeah, take care of each other, and most importantly, take care of yourself. I'm very, very meh about it, in all honesty. I'm not bothered either way. Would I like him? Yeah, of course I would. Does it bother me that he's not here? No, because he's not going to make or break our season, in my humble opinion. There you go. There's my 2 cents on it. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, guys. Cheers.